They say the women of Ghana smile so sincerely, as if they carry the sun of all West Africa within them. But those who have seen them among the warm evening streets of Accra know. Behind that beauty lies a strength capable of moving an entire nation. Ghana is the heart of West Africa, a country where the red soil shines under the sun as brightly as the gold that once made this land a legend. Stretching along the Gulf of Guinea, it covers more than 238,000 square kilometers and is home to over 33 million people. Cities here grow fast, yet the rhythm of life remains soft and warm, like a sea breeze drifting through the coastal streets every evening. Accra, the capital, is endless motion. Colorful markets, the aroma of spices, noisy trotro buses, and buildings that blend colonial history with modern African identity. Further north, the land changes, becoming drier, wider, as if the earth itself breathes more slowly. To the south lie tropical forests, Atlantic waves, cocoa trees, and dense greenery that remind you nature here lives according to its own ancient, peaceful law. Ghana doesn't shout about itself. It simply lives. Modest, warm, and confident, like a nation that has already seen war, colonialism, and rebirth. And today it stands strong and steady, with that quiet dignity which may be invisible from afar, but impossible to forget up close. Ghanaian women are a blend of softness and strength, a quality you feel from the very first glance. They wear vibrant fabrics, kente, ankara, wax prints, as if every color on their clothing carries the story of their ancestors. Their skin is dark and warm, smooth and deep like the night above the savannah. Their eyes are expressive, holding a quiet calm, the kind that belongs only to people who have learned to withstand storms and return home with a smile. Their movements are graceful yet confident, and when they walk through markets or along city streets, it seems as though the space itself makes way for them. In Ghana, women are not just a part of society, they are its foundation. They sell vegetables in markets, run small businesses, teach in schools, and sit in government positions, all with the kind of energy that carries the nation on its shoulders. Around 43% of women participate in the workforce, and at the same time, they remain the primary caretakers of the family. Mothers, grandmothers, and older sisters who look after everyone around them. Yet, as everywhere, statistics are not always kind. The gender income gap persists, and women still face biases in the labor market. Despite this, they keep moving forward. Not loudly, not for show, but steadily and with dignity. In big cities, they work in offices, wear stylish dresses, and lead startups. In villages, they wake up at 4 in the morning to carry goods to the market, then return home to their children, preparing fufu, washing rice, lighting charcoal. And in both lives, their beauty is not merely appearance. It is an inner light that does not fade, even under the hardest circumstances. The contrast here is sharp. Bright fabrics, radiant smiles shining like sunlight through banana leaves, and a life that can be heavy and exhausting. But Ghanaian women have long learned how to turn hardship into calm resilience. Their beauty is not glamorous, not idealized. It is alive. It is real.
It breathes with the country.
The architecture of Ghana is like an old song, where each verse belongs to a different era, yet the melody remains beautifully whole. Here, stone remembers the breath of centuries. Along the coast stand the forts, Cape Coast, Elmina, white as bone, silent witnesses of colonialism. Their walls, scorched by sun and sea salt, hold heavy stories of the slave trade, of people who walked into dark underground corridors and never returned. They do not scream, they simply stand, allowing visitors to hear the whisper of the past. In the cities, Ghana's architecture is a blend of colonial structures and modern buildings reaching for the sky. Accra is a chaotic living space. Old British administrative buildings, museums, red roofs that still remember another era. And beside them, Glass towers, hotels, and business centers rising as symbols of a new, ambitious Ghana. At night, these buildings glow with a warm, golden light. Not a cold, technical glare, but like a bonfire that gathers people around it. Beyond the capital lie small towns and villages, where architecture is closely woven into the earth. Clay and thatched huts stand as though nature itself had grown them. Their earthen walls breathe with the heat of the day and the coolness of the night. Homes in the northern regions, round in shape and painted with white and black patterns, resemble fairy tale illustrations that come alive under the morning sun. Everything here is simple, yet every element is a continuation of the land. And then there are Ghanaian markets, vast layered constructions of wood, metal, and fabric, swirling like labyrinths. Here, architecture is not just a building, it is a living organism. Chains of stalls, awnings, shouts, colors, all fuse into a feeling that you have stepped into a city within a city. Ghanaian architecture does not try to impress with grandeur or polished elegance.
It speaks of something else: resilience, memory, a people who know their history and do not turn away from it.
This is architecture that does not seek to be perfect, it seeks to be true. And in that lies its soul.
The nature of Ghana is a soft tropical breath, where earth, wind, and water move to their own rhythm.
The country unfolds before the traveler with changing landscapes, from dense green rainforests to dry savannas where trees stand far apart, like silent guardians. In the south, near the coast, the waves of the Atlantic crash powerfully against the sand, and the wind carries the scent of salt and sea foam that clings to your clothes, as if reminding you, the great ocean begins here. In Kakum National Park, the trees rise so high it feels like they touch the sky. The canopy walkway, suspended at the treetops, sways beneath your steps, while below, the forest murmurs like a vast green river. The shadows of giant trees move slowly, as though they are breathing. Here, you can hear a monkey darting through the thickets, leaves rustling somewhere behind you, and the distant cry of a bird, sharp and clear like a bell. In the north, Ghana is different. Dry, warm, with red soil blazing under the sun. The savanna stretches for hundreds of kilometers, and the wind carries dust, the scent of dry grass, and traces of faraway fire. By evening, the land cools, the sky turns transparent, and the stars hang so low it feels as if you could reach out and touch them. Lake Volta is vast and calm, like a mirror holding countless stories within it. Fishing boats rest on its shores, and the water tells its quiet, steady rhythm. When the sun sets, the surface of the lake lights up in gold, and its waves drift so slowly, as though they too are falling asleep. Ghana's nature is not loud. It does not seek to impress. Yet there is something deep in it. A touch of wilderness, a touch of tenderness, a touch of ancient wisdom. It is a nature that doesn't shout, but whispers. It asks only one thing: slow down and listen to how the world breathes around you.
Daily life in Ghana is a mosaic of small rituals that shape the rhythm of the day. Here, people know how to live slowly, warmly, and sincerely, as if time doesn't move forward, but circles back to what matters most: family, community, and human connection. In the early mornings of Accra, the streets awaken long before sunrise. Someone is preparing banku, someone is frying fish, someone is placing corn dough on hot charcoal. The aroma of spices drifts above the neighborhoods, and even the air feels denser, filled with the quiet expectation of a new day. Coffee isn't the main morning ritual, yet people still gather outside, not with coffee, but with conversations. In Ghana, communication is part of life itself. At markets, inside trotro minibuses, in courtyards, near small kiosks. People talk, laugh, exchange news, weaving an invisible fabric of mutual support. In villages, life is even slower. At dawn, you can hear someone drawing water from a well, chickens running across the yard, and someone chopping wood.
Children play with balls made from rope and run barefoot on the earth, which for them is not dirt, but home. Elder women sit beneath trees, shelling maize and quietly retelling stories remembered from their grandmothers. The contrast between city and village is immense. Accra is movement, music, cars, fashion, internet, and new buildings. The villages are calm, rooted in the land, filled with silence broken only by children's laughter and birdsong. Yet within this contrast lies harmony. The city learns patience from the village, and the village learns confidence from the city. Ghanaians are very social but never intrusive. They are friendly while still respecting personal space. If you enter a small kiosk and greet someone with a smile, you will receive not just a simple hello, but a warm, sincere look, as if they had been waiting for you. Evenings do not bring stillness. Music fills the streets. Afrobeats, highlife, reggae.
Children play until late, while adults sit in courtyards, drinking ginger drinks or palm wine, discussing the day as if every conversation strengthens the bonds between people. In Ghana, life does not strive to be fast. It strives to be genuine, and within that lies its quiet, gentle strength. The financial reality of Ghana is a mix of opportunities and challenges, where daily life depends on which region you live in, where you work, and how well you can adapt. For a single person living in a large city such as Accra or Kumasi, monthly expenses generally range between $400 and $700, depending on lifestyle. For a family of 4, this amount can reach $1,200 to $1,800. The biggest expenses are housing, transportation, and food. Rent in Accra often becomes the heaviest financial burden. A one-bedroom apartment in a good neighborhood can cost between $250 and $450 per month, and sometimes even more if it's a new building or housing oriented toward foreigners. On the outskirts, prices may drop to $150 to $200. In smaller towns or villages, housing expenses are much lower, but earnings are modest as well. Transportation in Ghana is inexpensive, especially public transit. Trotro minibuses allow you to move across the city for 30 cents to $1, while taxis are more expensive, but still affordable. The average monthly salary ranges from about $150 to $300, although incomes can be higher in the public sector or industries connected with technology and international business. Food is relatively affordable. Local dishes such as fufu, jollof rice, banku, and fried fish are accessible to almost everyone. Street food may cost $1 to $3 per portion, cafes $5 to $10, and restaurants aimed at foreigners $15 to $20 or more. Families often buy food at markets, where prices can be 20 to 40% lower than in supermarkets. The contrast between the capital and the provinces is striking. Life in Accra is nearly twice as expensive as in most other regions, yet that's where jobs, education, healthcare, and business opportunities are concentrated. Villages and small towns offer peace, land, and self-sufficiency, but not always stable income. Life in Ghana is a balance between wanting something better and knowing how to manage with less. And although the economy continues to grow and investments are increasing, people still live realistically. They spend carefully, work hard, and rely on family and community, because those are the true currencies that never lose value. Corruption remains one of the most painful issues. It penetrates government institutions, education, and healthcare. And although the government is trying to fight it, people know very well. Sometimes what matters is not what you know, but who you know. The youth are changing this. They speak openly about injustice, protest, and create projects that promote a new way of thinking. But the road ahead is still long. Another challenge is labor migration. Many Ghanaians move abroad, to Europe, the United States, or South Africa. Some go to study, others to work. Some return with new knowledge and dreams. Others stay, sending money back home. That is why in many villages, you can see beautiful new houses built with the earnings of those working thousands of kilometers away.
Inequality is another shadow. Life in the capital and in the provinces feels like two parallel worlds. Accra offers opportunities, work, and speed. The villages offer only land, wind, and hope. And although communities remain united, access to quality education and healthcare is still a privilege, not a standard. Yet despite all this, Ghana has bright advantages. The country is considered one of the safest in the region. Conflicts are rare, and people live peacefully and patiently. National identity is strong. Traditions live in music, dance, clothing, and in the way stories are shared in the evenings. Even in how a mother teaches her daughter to tie a head wrap, gele, as if passing down a small piece of her soul. The psychology of Ghanaians is calmness and dignity. They know how to wait, how to laugh even in difficult situations, how to find a way out when it seems there is none. Most importantly, they know how to stand together. This is what holds the country. Not the authorities, not the systems, but people who look at the world with hope, believing that everything can become better if you do at least a little good, every day. Ghana does not try to impress.
It simply lives. In the rhythm of the sea, the footsteps in the marketplace, the laughter of children, the rustling leaves in the evening breeze. It doesn't shout about its beauty. It allows it to be seen only by those who pause, even for a moment. And then, standing in the warm nights or quiet mornings, you suddenly understand. This country speaks the language of the heart, and hearing it means remembering it forever.